Hello and welcome to Bellwright. In this video I will share with you my beginner tips and later on also some advanced tips. So let's dive right into it. As you maybe saw already, there are lots of roads in Bellwright. If you're running on these roads, you're using 30% less stamina. So as you can see up to the left corner, our stamina, the green bar, is going really slowly down. If you're running next to the road, it's going way faster down. So running on the road uses 30% less stamina, and as far as I know, I think also the stamina recovery is slightly better on the road. If you're having a long journey ahead of you and you don't want to hold down the whole time the W key to run, you can instead press the button H on your keyboard and he will run automatically. You still need to move around with the mouse, but he's running automatically, so that can come quite in handy if you got long journeys ahead of yourself. One crucial thing before you're planning your settlement is to check the map if there is a small or a big road next to it, so you can build later on, if you researched it, the travel sign. And the travel sign allows you to quickly travel through the map. So that's really important to have a road next to your settlement so you can easily travel quickly around. For your first settlement, I would strongly suggest that you build near to Herndeen, or however to pronounce this name. I choose this location because you got copper very close to it, you got river reed here, you got tin over here, and yeah, for a beginner's location I would definitely choose this and later on build outposts to deliver the missing resources. So that would be my settlement tip for you to start off. Your food that is stored in, for example, a barn or in a storage container in general, as you can see here, the dried mushrooms, they are very slowly losing this one blue bar. And if it's going to zero, only one item is getting destroyed. So stacked food is rotting very slowly. If you're taking here 3 mushrooms, they are all losing the blue bar. If it's stacked and the blue bar is going down, only one item is destroyed. You are maybe tempted to recruit your villagers in the beginning only from one village. For example, in the starter village, Herndeen. So if you're their protector or even Bellwright or friend, you could think, okay, let's just recruit all the people from there. Don't do that, because after I think 4 or 5 people that you recruited from there, and you only recruited from there, they will get a debuff, and that will quite hard hit their morale. So don't do that. Try to make it more diverse, you can say, from Petzdorf and from Bradford, so your villagers are quite mixed up from all the villages. Now let's talk about storage and the storage limits. So if you build your storage, maybe one of these are quite primitive, or maybe even these T2 barns, open them up, and then you can build multiple and say here, hey, here should be food rations in it or resources. And if you want to only farm like 200 reed, then you're clicking here on food rations, going down, searching for what you want, and typing into the later number the amount that should be stored maximum in there. So you need to do this in every barn. It's a little bit annoying, but yeah, that's how you manage the amount that is stored in one specific building, and I would strongly suggest you doing that. For an efficient production, you always should come to the workbench or whatever, let's say the workbench here, press manage, and then say, for example, the simple arrows, top up. Don't say one off, because then you need to all the time come back and say again, okay, let's make 5 arrows. Just say top up 10, and your villagers will always do this and top this off in the storage. The same counts for the weaver's table, and so on and so on. Let's check here. Here I said also top up, top up, top up. That means you don't need to come all the time on your own and need to micromanage this all the time. So that is quite good and especially effective. Now let's talk about worker priorities. You need to press N on your keyboard and then you need to go to population. And there you have all these symbols, you can say: crafting, smelting, harvesting, farming, wood cutting, delivery, cooking, hunting, construction, training and research. And you can see here I set up Lubomir Netterby to be my main researcher. That doesn't mean just because he's on one that only he will research, but he got the highest priority. So 1 is the highest priority, so they will always do this first if they can. As you can see here, Nicholas Taifinon, or however you pronounce this name, is in smelting quite good. And yeah, I need to be honest, I didn't check this super often, but it can come quite in handy, especially if you don't have so many villagers. So yeah, this just a simple explanation of the priorities system. Let's talk one more time over travel signs. I find them so unbelievably important. I know they're costing 150 renown, but it's a good investment, you can say. Let's check the map here. You see all these little signs here. We are built up to access actually the whole map, you can say. So you should build like an infrastructure of travel signs so you can travel everywhere quite quickly. That's a big tip. And 150 renown is later on actually not so much. That can even come from like 2 brigands or 2 bandits and you got the renown back. You can find these traders everywhere spread it across the map. And especially early on, if you need straps or something, you can come to this one here. It's next to Herndeen, where the river reed is also at the lake, and you can talk to him. And he is selling you, as you can see, some strap. It's replenishing every day, so this can come quite in handy if you don't want to fight so much, or if you got too much money and you need strap. And this is just one of them, and there are many more. And you can also build your camp around them, but sometimes it can be good. For example, I built here my tin outpost next to the craftsman hut from one dude, but yeah, it's just an outpost, but you can also build around them. Let's talk about books. Books are quite important for yourself and for your villagers. You should always use on yourself books and on your villagers. For example, here I got like a journeyman book, research, and you should take this and give it to somebody who's the researcher. For example, with me it's Lubomir Netterby, and I think you can just press here, search him, where is he, here, and say attributes and say researching plus, and he will read this book and get 1500 experience in it. And you should always do that. We stored quite a lot, but yeah, if you're starting off, always read, especially strength books, one-handed, bow books, agility books. They're all super good for yourself. And of course, if you are quite high in the level, you should give them also to your villagers, or better said, to your fighters. Let's move on to the advanced tips. These are made for people who are already in like T2, you can say, fighting a lot, and yeah, just in the mid game to the late game, but more in the mid game. So the first advanced tip, you can also do that earlier, but you need definitely a bow, is to kite the enemies around walls or fences. And I will also link you a video there. I will show you how you can single-handedly clear out a bandit camp quite easily with just standing on a rock. The only thing is that you need to check out that they don't have archers, and then you can just kite them all the time around, and that's actually a really simple trick to get a lot of renown, a lot of loot. And yeah, as you can see, you can lure them all the time here on top, let's quickly clear this archer. So the tip would be just kite them around, and yeah, that's the whole tip, you can say. Now they're running away, even better for us. It's quite a cheesy tactic, but that's how you can single-handedly kill a lot of bandits and get a lot of loot and renown. So what I want to tell you with this short fast forward clip, it is actually quite easy. Find something where you can run around, like this construction over there, find a fence, find a small wall, and you can easily kill bandits and brigands. But brigands, I told you also in the other video, can be a little bit more difficult because they are having way more armor, and they also have a lot of bowmen, and these bowmen are carrying bronze arrows, and they are hurting a lot, so you need to be a little bit of careful and always kill firstly the bowman, and then you're good to go. Then you can all the time make this cheesy tactic and quite easily win. Needs a little bit of training, but I'm trusting in you that you can do it. And now to trading with the village. Everybody knows you can run up to these shopkeepers in the village. What a lot of people don't realize is if you liberated a town, I'm here in Farnworth, if you liberated a town, you can press M for the map and then click on Farnworth, and then here is trading, and they are selling special items, for example resin, and yeah. You need to liberate the village and then you can trade with them. I made a video also to it, it's a little bit more in detail, and I will link it also, so you can check this out. But yeah, just for you to know, you can trade actually quite useful items with the liberated villages. Let's talk about profession in workers. These are quite hard to get, especially early on. You see here that's an apprentice innkeeper you can talk to. And if the village is liberated normally, then you can recruit him. But he has quite high stats, so you need to be on level Bellwright. But normally it's enough if you liberated the village and you are on protector level, so the trust level, then you can recruit them. I will make a list and will blend it in here, so you know where all the professions are. Let us talk about troop movement. A lot of you tried it already, they're getting hungry quickly, then they run back, and it's a little bit annoying. What you can do if it's a longer trip, or of course also a shorter trip, you go to your location, wherever you want to have them in the area, then you will build like a small storage house, like this one here. It's not so expensive, and you put in a lot of food, like this, you can just throw it in, and then you need to make this building a new settlement. So this one is called stockpile 5 right now. Then you're pressing N. Then you're going, it is here actually located. And then you can go here, switch settlements and create a new one and call it whatever you want. And then you can press N again, population, say for example her, and then say switch to the new location, or better said the new settlement that you created, and then they will move there. So this is actually quite handy, especially if you want to make a big troop movement a long way. So that's my tip for troop movement. Let's stay here in my little outpost and let's talk about outposts quickly. I also made a separate video on that. I will link it once more here, so it's a little bit more in detail. But it's quite simple. You're going to your new outpost location, wherever you want your outpost. You selecting a building, for example, like a gathering hut. That's like the main reason for an outpost. And then you build a storage house and a house. These, I find, are the basics for a successful outpost, and then you can just, as I said earlier, click on the buildings and again you need to find a name and just create a new outpost, and then you can move population that you have already there, or you can just recruit new ones. And deliveries are actually quite simple. You can press here and make all the deliveries. As I said, a little bit more in depth, I made the separate video. I link it to you in this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope these tips were helpful for you. If you liked it, please leave a comment, a like and a subscription, and see you in the next video. Have a good day.